been thinking about originality lately, about how an individual can be an original version of themselves. I know that it's a topic that's probably very popular in today's day and age. For instance, people will talk about they want to be themselves, they want to be their real them, whatever that means. But I find that in today's society, most people are not really the real them. They are a version of something that someone else is, or they are a version of what society is saying that they should be. Which means that there seems to be an epidemic of people not being able to access the inner recesses of their own abilities, of their own individualities, of their own uniqueness, in order to come up with that real them, that real me that we all seem to talk about so much, at least in some circles. Why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about being an original? Well, my name is Victoria, and as you would have noticed from the name of this channel, the channel is The Writing Lawyer, meaning that I am a lawyer, but of course, most essentially, I am also a writer. As a lawyer, the art of writing is a primary skill in the profession. You have to know how to do legal research. You have to know how to write commentary, or you have to know how to write legal briefs in such a way, or write a case in such a way, or argue a case in such a way that it will be to the benefit of your client, or the decision needs to turn in your favor. And as a writer, I have often thought about the necessity of being a writer that is original. In other words, when I am writing things, I want the ideas, the thoughts to be coming from somewhere original, somewhere that maybe hasn't really been thought about before, if that is even possible. For instance, in the law, we have something called precedent, meaning that there are decisions that have been made in the past that when you have a case, you should be looking at those decisions to help you determine how your own case should turn. But there are also instances when someone may come up and think or say in a courtroom that I am thinking that it should be this. We should go about it this new way. That, to me, is one of the opportunities to have original thinking in the field of law. And as a writer, I do see that that opportunity is also very much available, but in many instances, we don't seem to be using it very much this day and age. As a writer that is original, you want to be that individual that is able to write things that are unique to you, things that may potentially be new even to the society that you are existing in. So now this brings together the two things that I've been talking about since the beginning of this video. Being an original individual who can write original things. As a writer who is original, you will find that the work that you do is automatically eligible for copyright. Now I'm going on a probably different tangent here. Because again, as a lawyer, one of the things that I am aware of, one of the things that I have been involved with is intellectual property. That is trademark law, copyright law. And when you are a writer that is able to develop original content, that means that you obviously can copyright that content. So say you write a book and the book is not a spin-off from something that has already existed, or maybe it is. Maybe it's a spin-off from a book from a Star Wars series. Maybe it's a spin-off from some other thing that has existed out there. Let's take, for example, Disney. We know that Disney recycles a lot of things in the public domain, ideas that have been used years ago that are no longer owned by any particular person anymore. For instance, the stories about the Little Mermaid, Aladdin, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and so on. All these are ideas that existed years ago that are now in the public domain, free for all to use, to take advantage of. And Disney takes very good advantage of those opportunities, those ideas, to recycle into something that they can make into their own ideas. So technically, they are not original ideas, but the fact that they are being reused, repurposed to create something that is a spin-off of the original makes it in its own self an original. So what I'm saying as a writer who is a lawyer is that I'm hoping to see more of original writers who are able to create content that maybe already exists out there, but then again, maybe not. Because the art of writing to me is actually something that is able to bring out the uniqueness of an individual. Say, for instance, you write journals. In your journals, you are able to talk about the things that are on top of mind, or things that are even in the deeper inner recesses of your mind that you may not have been able to voice to anyone before, but now you are able to write it out in your journal and make discoveries even of yourself. That is why I think that writing is actually a discovery of self. I am a very strong proponent of people bringing out their writing abilities, because it's one of the ways that we can actually make discoveries of ourselves, our original selves. This brings me to the ultimate point. On this channel, I want to do a lot of original writing talk. Whether it's a spin-off from something that has existed before, a writing in the past, or an idea from the past, or whether it's something completely new. And I know there's an argument that there's really no new thing under the sun, that anything that has been created or written in content space has existed before somewhere. And this maybe is true, but I want to be able to challenge that. I want to see if there is something potentially that has not been put out there in the writing world before. And if there isn't, that's fine. Original content can still be created from things that used to exist before. So on this channel, I'm going to work on that premise. How to become a more original individual through writing.